So you want to spot surplus funds deals before they go to auction? Well, there's 3 steps you need to follow. In this video, I'll outline those 3 steps. In fact, I put together a simple guide for you to follow to know whether or not a deal is worth pursuing. So let's take a look. Okay, so you want to spot a $50,000 or more surplus funds deal before it goes to auction. Well, it's really simple, and I'm going to break down how it works in 3 simple steps. So, step 1, you want to look for at least 50% equity or more. Now, it really depends on the market as well. In some markets, you're going to want to go higher than 50% equity. Some markets, you'll go lower. In this example here, let's say that the ARV, the after repair value, is $400,000. And the debt, all in, that's all mortgages, liens, and judgments, is $180,000. That'll leave us with $220,000 equity, which in this example is a little bit above 50% equity. So in markets where the value of homes are much less, 200, 250, 300, you're going to want to go higher on the equity because, like we mentioned at the beginning, we want to spot at least $50,000 of surplus funds. At the very minimum, $40,000. So $50,000 is a good rule of thumb and something you should have in the back of your mind when you're thinking about what's a good deal to pursue. Now, in higher value homes in markets like Los Angeles and Miami, you can go less on the equity and be sure that you'll still have $50,000 of surplus funds or more. Now, step 2 is once you know your market, you're going to want to estimate what that property will sell for at auction. Now, most auction buyers, aka cash buyers, they're going to pay anywhere from 55 to 80% of the ARV. Again, that depends on the market, but cash buyers at auction, they're going to pay around the same percentage as they would from a wholesaler. So if you're a wholesaler and you sell deals to investors and cash buyers and buyers, you know that they're usually picking them up between that percentage of ARV. The rule of thumb is typically like 70% minus repairs and minus your assignment fee. So it's the same comparison, same concept here. Cash buyers are cash buyers and they want steep discounts. So once you estimated what that property will sell for, step 3 is you're going to subtract the total debt, right? All mortgages, liens, and judgments, and you're going to get your potential surplus. So for example, let's say that the foreclosure sale, the auction price was $300,000. The debt all in, that includes all mortgages, liens, and judgments, is $240,000. So if you take that, again, that sale price, subtract all the debt, you're left with a $60,000 surplus. Now, if there's likely $50,000 or more, like this example, it's a strong deal. It's a good deal for you to pursue, okay? Now, why do we focus on $50,000 or more? Simple. We want to make sure that there's enough for the seller and enough for you to be compensated fairly for all the work that you've done. Not only in recovering the surplus funds, but also in the pre-foreclosure stage. So if you're a wholesaler, working high equity deals, or you're an agent who works NODs or NTS deals, anything pre-foreclosure, you do listings and pre-foreclosure, you probably put in a lot of time, energy, and sometimes marketing dollars into that deal. So at the end of the day, you want to be compensated. So now most people wait until after the auction. Don't. That's not what we do here. What we do is once we've spotted a good deal, a deal that we know based on this formula we know it'll have at least $50,000 or more of surplus funds, or at the very, very minimum, let's say you did a slight miscalculation, you want to at least go after deals that are 40,000 and above. Now, when you identify that kind of deal, you want to start planting the seed early to get ahead of the masses and to basically be the first call that the seller makes when this situation occurs. So what do I mean by planting a seed is, if you see that the deal is going south, it's not working out in your favor, and sometimes you can do everything in your power and you can do everything correctly, but the deal still slips through the cracks. It happens all the time, which is why this concept even exists. And so what you want to do is, if you see it going down that road, is don't ghost the seller. Keep the relationship tight. Keep the communication tight. Use automations if you're smart. Use automations, SMS, email, voicemails, things like that, and start educating that seller about the potential of surplus funds, and you'll be the first call that they get. So, or that they make. So if this makes sense and you want a copy of this guide, you can get a free copy of this guide along with some other tools and scripts and resources in our free community. It's on School. You can find it. I'll leave the link in the description here. I'll also put it in the bio. Or you can go to school.com/surplus funds to get this guide along with a bunch of other stuff. So we'll see you on the next one.